Arts in Depth, a 1/2 hour televised program presented to you by the Cultural Council of Indian River County. I am Barbara Hoffman, Executive Director of the Cultural Council and your host for Arts in Depth. Thank you so much for watching. Located on a tropical hammock in the southern gateway to Vero Beach, Florida, McKee Botanical Garden is where native plants and exotic botanicals combine with old Florida charm. Explore the 18 acres of natural landscape through a grove of majestic palms alongside tranquil streams accented with colorful water lilies, and visit historic structures, each with their own unique story. McKee is a special and well-known landmark in our community, attracting thousands of visitors each year. My guest today is Christine Hobart, who is the Executive Director of McKee Botanical Garden. Welcome, Christine.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you for joining us today in Arts in Depth. Tell us, what brought you to McKee?
Well, I actually have to give Penny Chandler credit because I was working elsewhere at the time, and I met Penny, and she said, "Why don't you send me your resume?"
Now, Penny Chandler is the president of the Indian River County Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, she is. Yeah, and at the time I really wasn't looking for another job, but
What were you doing?
I was at Hale Groves as a marketing analyst.
Okay.
And I sent her my resume anyway, and I had a few phone calls, nothing that really interested me, and then I had a call from McKee, went in for an interview, and here I am over 17 years later.
Oh my gosh, what a profession.
It's been a great career.
Tell me. I mean, you're in the environment. I mean, it's so exciting over there, and yet it's so peaceful. What is it like to work there?
It's been, obviously, after 17 years, it's been incredible. I wouldn't be there that long if it wasn't for a tremendous and dedicated staff, board of directors. I'm very fortunate that, we have the support that we do. So, yeah, tranquil environment. We usually take a walk during our lunch hours, so we get to enjoy McKee as well.
Tell me who maybe influenced you the most in your professional career moving into this wonderful job?
Oh, I have to say there are probably a few people along the line. As I mentioned, our board, we do have Almalie Loy.
Fortunate.
Yes, very fortunate, and she definitely influenced, my career at McKee. When I first started as director, Susan Schuyler Smith was our board chair, and with her leadership, and it was Susan Smith along with Susan Phillips who really rescued and saved the garden from development. So I learned a lot from her. Bob Wood, who's one of our board members, Barbara Holmain McKenna, who is our past president. So a lot of great influences over the years.
Well, you have a terrific board, a very, very strong and supportive board. And when we come back after a short break, what I want to talk about is a lot more things about McKee, but then we're going to wrap up with the specific focus that you have on strategic planning and why these years have been so terrific for McKee.
Great.
Attention! This important message is for any American who is about to turn 65 years of age or older. Nation's Helpline has Medicare supplement insurance news that may benefit you, your family, or someone you know. Most Americans who are about to turn 65 years old know they need Medicare supplement insurance, even if they already have Medicare. The Nation's Helpline Medicare Supplement Team can guide you and help answer your Medicare questions. We can also help you find the right Medicare supplement policy from the best insurance companies around. So if you or someone you know is about to turn 65 years or older, call Nation's Helpline today. Don't spend more than you have to on Medicare supplement insurance. Call Nation's Helpline today and find out how easy it is to protect the ones you love, even if you already have Medicare. This is a program for you. The call and quote is free, and there are no obligations. Call today.
Please call 800-632-2804. That is 800-632-2804.
McKee Botanical Garden has a very interesting 82-year history. Please give us the history and the individuals who played such a major role in establishing the garden.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Arthur McKee and Waldo Sexton were, of course, our co-founders. And Arthur McKee was born in State College, Pennsylvania, son of a university president. He graduated from Penn State with a degree in mechanical engineering. And he went on at one point, he went on at one point to produce over 2/3 of the US and Canada steel and iron ore. And that's really where his wealth came from. And during his downtime, he of course came down to the Indian River area, which was part of St. Lucie County at the time, and met Waldo Sexton. And we all know Waldo from the driftwood, from the Ocean Grill, you know, the impact that he left. Well, he also had an impact on...
mountain.
Yes, exactly, Waldo's Mountain. He left a tremendous impact on McKee. And he was actually the son of a farmer. He originally was born in Indiana, originally went to school to become a doctor. He studied medicine. And his father felt that a good farmer was being ruined. And so he graduated from Purdue University with a degree in animal husbandry. And Waldo was a terrific salesman. And that's really what brought him down here was he was selling a tilling machine, oddly enough. And the tilling machine broke. He was waited for a part, took too long, so he quit and bought land, you know, in Vero Beach. So, you know, and the two of them, for as different as they were, you know, Waldo had all of the crazy ideas and McKee had more of, you know, the money. They made a dynamic team. You know, the property was slated to become a citrus grove. They saw that it was too beautiful. It was that old natural Florida hammock that you had mentioned. And they developed the McKee Sexton Land Company, and this was their first project. And of course, McKee Jungle Gardens opened in 1932, and you know, really to great fanfare. In its heyday, it was the third largest tourist attraction in the state of Florida, with over 100,000 visitors annually.
Oh my goodness, I did not know that history.
Yes.
That's very, very
Yes.
interesting, isn't it? And that was all 82 years ago.
It was, yeah. And you know, US 1 used to be the main artery to and from South Florida. If you wanted to get to the Miami area, you had to take US 1. So that was obviously great for McKee Jungle Gardens. And then, you know, in the 1960s and 70s, I-95 was developed, the Florida Turnpike, and then Disney came along. And that really changed, you know, people's interests. And, you know, the garden, unfortunately, it closed in 1976. So
1976, and then it reopened.
it did, yeah. There were several attempts to purchase the property. All of them failed in the beginning. And then the 18-acre core that we have was slated to become a 300,000 square foot shopping center, if you can imagine. Yes. And so the community banded together. They raised the initial $1.7 million to purchase the property, and then we underwent a $9 million restoration and reopened in 2001.
2001.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very, very interesting history, and I know you've gotten a lot of big recognition on this, and we'll talk about this after we take a brief break.
Okay, great.
Now that health reform is law, you cannot be denied health insurance coverage, but you can pay too much. But at ICANN, we work for you. We shop all the private and government plans available, dozens of plans, to find the plan that best suits you and your family's needs at historically low prices.
As a single mom, I was convinced that we could not afford health insurance until I spoke to the people from ICANN, who told me that I qualified for a special enrollment and a subsidized rate. Now I get so much more for so much less.
Call now and get the ICANN mobile app free. It takes the mystery out of comparison price shopping for prescription medicine, giving you the power to instantly find the pharmacy with the lowest price and save possibly hundreds and hundreds of dollars every single year. So don't wait another minute. Call ICANN, get covered, save money.
Please call 800-345-7585.
McKee has garnered much national attention in publications. one of the 22 secret gardens, soothing places of surprise and sanctuary in the United States and Canada by the National Geographic Traveler. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're very proud of the local as well as national publicity that we have received. And I think it's because we do have that 82-year history and so many people remember it as McKee Jungle Gardens. And there's very few of those original Florida tourist attractions that are still around. So after we had opened as McKee Botanical Garden, one of the reporters from National Geographic Traveler magazine approached us about doing a story, which we were very, honored to be listed. We have also been in the New York Times, Southern Living, Coastal Living, and a lot of other, national
And
magazines.
you're on the National Register of Historic Places.
We are, yes.
And you were endorsed by the Garden Conservancy as a project of national significance.
Yes, we've had a long-standing history with the Garden Conservancy. We participate in their open days on an annual basis where private gardens open up, and we try and encourage, the community to go and visit to see what they can do in their own garden. And the Garden Conservancy is very important to us.
Well, congratulations on those. That's
Thank you.
great.
Thank you.
McKee is also well known for its exhibitions that it hosts, and you have one coming up called Roar of the Dinosaur in 1916. Coming in 2016. Tell us about this exhibit. What are some of the exciting things about that?
Yeah, next year will be the 10th anniversary of the original dinosaur invasion. And the original exhibit was actually our single largest exhibition, so we're excited to bring back the dinosaurs. It is by Guy Darrow, and the neat thing about him is he is not only an artist, but he's a paleontologist. So he has literally traveled the world and gone on archaeological digs. The dinosaurs that he recreates are as lifelike as he knows it. So it's going to be 14 different dinosaurs. The smallest will be 1 to 2 inch sorties. And then the largest is a 30-foot dinosaur, and it's called a Daspletosaur.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. When is this coming?
It is February 2nd through March 1st of next year.
Okay, so we have 1 month to visit it.
Well, it's actually at 12 weeks. Sorry, I misspoke. It's through May 1st.
Oh, through May.
Through
okay,
May 1st.
so we've got a few months.
You have 3 months. To
3
visit,
months
yeah.
to go and visit
Sorry.
it. Well, that'll be exciting. What are some of the prior exhibits that you have hosted?
We just hosted the Lego exhibition, the Nature Connects Lego Brick exhibition, which has been our single best exhibition to date. And we had over 51,000 visitors.
You shared those numbers with me
Yes.
earlier, and that is amazing.
It is. We knew going into it, Lego transcends generations. We knew that from the youngest of, children to, the older generations. We knew that it would be popular. I don't know that we knew it would be our best exhibition ever. Yes.
That is really, really terrific. Do you have any other ones that stand out in your mind?
Well, we had Hans Godo Frabel, which was the glass exhibition, and seeing his large glass cubes in our ponds. We really used our ponds and our waterways with that one. Godo himself, he is a gardener, so that made it even more special because we now have one of his pieces on permanent
Let's
loan.
talk about this more when we come back.
Sure.
The Furniture Man is a locally owned business that has served the needs of the community of Vero Beach and Indian River County for over 30 years. Here at the Furniture Man, we offer fine pieces to furnish each and every room of your home. Specializing in Floridian style, come browse our selection of bedroom, dining room, patio, and living room. Come explore over 10,000 square feet of showroom where you can find mattresses, recliners, sofas, dining, and more. Visit us at 673 US 1 in Vero Beach, Monday through Saturday for all of your furniture needs.
Stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics in downtown Vero Beach. Owner Patty Callahan prints it all, from color and black and white copies to blueprints, banners, signs, prints of paintings, and fine art. Patty makes restorations and creates outstanding graphic designs. Call Patty at 770-1521 or stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics at 2345 14th Avenue. Stop by for all of your printing needs at Patty's Printing and Graphics across from the old railroad station in downtown Vero Beach.
McKee Botanical Garden is also the host of special events throughout the year. The holidays are really special. Tell us about that.
They are special, and it's something that I think has really become a tradition with families here locally. And we have it 3 nights prior to Christmas, and then we also have what we call Nights of Lights for 3 nights afterwards. And the holidays, we have Santa and Mrs. Claus. We have a group of volunteers that we call the Train Guys, and they spend 2 weeks putting together a large-scale model railroad display. And I think that's honestly, from the young to the older kids, everyone loves that. That's probably the most popular aspect of our holiday event. We have thousands of lights throughout the garden. The cafe is open for cider and a light dinner. The Hall of Giants, which is the old historic building on site, we always decorate that.
Yes.
So very, very special event for us.
It is a beautiful, beautiful event.
It is, and we have very few evening events, so it's one of those opportunities, for the community to come see the garden at night and to appreciate it in a different light.
Now you also have a lot of educational things like Camp McKee.
We do. We just had 2 weeks of camp. We had 25 campers at the garden, and hopefully we've created some new botanists or new horticulturists.
And the ages of the children?
Ages were 5 to 9.
5 to 9.
Yeah, so it's a sweet group.
Oh, what a great time.
Yes, they had animal encounters. We took them on nature walks. They journaled. They have put together a scrapbook so that they could take it with them. So it was really, it is just one of those things that I love to have children in the garden.
Great. And you also have education programs like the summer brunch?
We do. Yeah, our classes, we have a fall class schedule as well as a spring. And our classes range anywhere from horticultural classes to, as you said, a cooking class like the summer brunch. Chris Byerly, who is the proprietor and owner of Osceola Bistro downtown, he runs our cafe.
Oh.
So he just started this past year, and he'll be the exclusive caterer again this coming season. So yeah, he's taught several cooking classes at the garden, which they've been sellouts.
Terrific. And what is McKee's Garden Discovery Backpack?
It is something that we created about 3 years ago for families visiting the garden. And there are 5 different backpacks that you can check out when you come to the garden. And it's free with general admission, or if you're a member, it's free with your membership. It's subjects like It's a Bug's World, Plantastic, Garden Explorer, and it's really meant for families to be interactive with McKee. We found that the average length of time that a family spends at our garden is 1 hour. But with the backpack program, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours. And there's a bug catcher in it. There's a little vest that the kids can put on and carry, their backpack around. There's a map. So it's very, very creative.
How great that is. And the garden can also be rented for special events.
It can, yes. We have a lot of wedding receptions held at the garden. Someone can also rent it out for a cocktail or a dinner party.
Okay. And we'll talk some more about these opportunities to have a special event at McKee Botanical Gardens.
Since 1951, Globe Life and Accident Insurance Company has been providing families with life insurance protection. $1 covers the first month of coverage, whether you choose from $5,000 up to $100,000 of coverage. First day coverage means no waiting periods. Easy to buy, no medical exam, no risk 30-day money-back guarantee. Up to $150,000 of accidental death coverage can be added to your policy. Globe Life makes buying life insurance easy.
Marsha.
Hi, I'm Penny Chandler.
I'm Freddie Wolford.
I am Barbara Hoffman.
And I'm Gregory Simpson.
I'm here with Police Chief David Curry.
You're in good company on VeroBuzzTV.com, Vero Beach's local TV station on the internet.
I just love it.
Tell a friend.
We love y'all!
McKee Botanical Garden could not be all that it is today without volunteers. What are some of the volunteer responsibilities and how does one become a volunteer?
Well, they are many at the garden. If somebody wants to get their fingers dirty and, dig in the dirt, as we say, they can help our horticulture staff weed, plant, prune. We also have a maintenance crew and tech guys who like to build different projects for us. We also have volunteers who help in the gift shop. We have mailing volunteers. Our special events, we would not be able to do them really without our volunteers. If you take the holidays, for example, it takes about 30 volunteers and about 15 staff every night to make that happen. So it's lighting luminaria candles to, greeting visitors, and it's just volunteer, a lot of opportunity.
How many volunteers do you have?
We have 125 volunteers and growing, and they're led by Ro Van Dreit, who is she's our volunteer coordinator, and Ro does a phenomenal job with them.
Now, if our viewers would like to become volunteers, how do they do that?
That would be great. Yeah, Ro is available via email, of course, volunteer@mckeegarden.org, or just call the garden. And there's a volunteer application that we would ask them to fill out initially. Then there's an interview, and depending upon what position they go into, whether it's like let's say the garden guide or a greeter, there is specific training, that they would go through. Or if it's working with a hort staff, they will train, the volunteers. So.
Well, it's like a real job.
It is, yeah. And some of them, we have one volunteer in the gift shop who is literally there 4 days a week, for 8 hours. But she loves it, and that's the great part.
Well, you can tell that the people at the gardens love it, because when I go and they're working digging in the streams and in the mud and so forth, they are all so pleasant and excited about doing this. How does an individual or a business become a member of McKee?
You can go on our website, which is mckeegarden.org, or again, just call the garden. And membership is $45 for an individual for a year, or $60 for a family, and that is for a year from when you join. So if you join now, it would be good through July of next year. The levels go up from the $60, $100 and above, and it really depends upon the benefits of membership. We have one local business who likes to rent the facilities. So corporate membership starts at $250, $500, and $1,000, but at $1,000 you get a 50% discount on rentals. So for them, they rent the facility several times a year. That's beneficial, having the discount. So,
and as an individual member, what is the benefit?
Benefits is obviously free admission to not only McKee for that year, but also over 300 other gardens throughout the U.S. and Canada. We are part of the American Horticultural Society's reciprocal admission program. So you get free admission at Bach Tower, at Fairchild, a lot of gardens throughout Florida, and then if anyone travels, it's great because they get free admission.
What a wonderful, wonderful benefit. I think all of you should think about becoming a member of McKee Botanical Garden.
Thank you.
Stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics in downtown Vero Beach. Owner Patty Callahan prints it all, from color and black and white copies to blueprints, banners, signs, prints of paintings, and fine art. Patty makes restorations and creates outstanding graphic designs. Call Patty at 770-1521 or stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics at 2345 14th Avenue. Stop by for all of your printing needs at Patty's Printing and Graphics, across from the old railroad station in downtown Vero Beach.
The Furniture Man is a locally owned business that has served the needs of the community of Vero Beach and Indian River County for over 30 years. Here at the Furniture Man, we offer fine pieces to furnish each and every room of your home. Specializing in Floridian style, come browse our selection of bedroom, dining room, patio, and living room. Come explore over 10,000 square feet of showroom where you can find mattresses, recliners, sofas, dining, and more. Visit us at 673 US 1 in Vero Beach, Monday through Saturday for all of your furniture needs.
McKee Botanical Garden is one of the jewels of our community. You have led this organization for a long time.
Yes.
And can certainly take much of the pride and credit in the development and growth of the garden. I know you are a strong advocate for planning. What do you see in the future, and how did you start when you first began in the planning process?
Well, it was something that started very early on. We had a 5-year strategic plan, and since then we have developed a new 5-year strategic plan, and we're constantly updating that. That's really our roadmap. So we look at the goals that were set forth, and we look, are they realistic today? And if they're not, let's reassess and reevaluate and correct them or change the goal. And you know, when we opened the garden, we sort of had that philosophy, build it, they will come. And that was true for about 2 years. And then what we found was those who were interested in horticulture or gardens, they were going to seek us out no matter what. And it was getting those who are not necessarily familiar or are interested in gardens, getting them to McKee. So we did a lot of research and found that other gardens were doing exhibitions and events. And you know, just for an example, an average year without an exhibition was about 20 to 22,000 visitors. An average year with an exhibition is 38 to 40,000. So we realized the impact that that had, and it's really exposure. You know, the garden is there for everyone. You know, whether it's someone who's coming for an exhibition, in the end they appreciate what we have, and a lot of times we'll join McKee. So it's one of those, you know, we noticed financially the impact that it had, and you know, people want to be part of the garden, and so many people remember the old McKee jungle gardens. And you know, when we reopened it, they came back, but like I said, we needed to involve the entire community.
What do you see in the future?
Well, next year is dinosaurs, of course, and then following that, because Lego was so successful, we're bringing a same artist but a different Lego exhibition back. So that will be 2017. And you know, we've talked to other gardens, and what we found is that a lot of them have children's gardens, and we have talked to them about the impact that it has on, say, membership or attendance. And one garden said that their membership has actually doubled since they opened their children's garden. So that's a possibility. We don't have a lot of land. Obviously, we're landlocked. We have the 18-acre core. But maybe something along the lines of a children's discovery trail or adventure trail, something related to children, because it's so important. You know, they are our future generations. We want to instill the love of nature in them.
And that is so critical.
It is important.
Well, McKee Botanical Gardens has been fun to watch it grow and become so very important in our community. So thank you, Christine, for talking with us today.
Thank you.
And thank you, viewers, for watching Arts in Depth, presented by the Cultural Council of Indian River County.
Join Marsha Littlejohn nightly at 5 and 9 on VeroBuzzTV.com.